You want to know what's a hate crime? The fact that the tiara doesn't fit on me. To be great, you gotta fail a lot, and, well...
This loser thinks she's great.
Shut up. Yeah, I'm pretty great. So, thank you for that extra 1,000 subscribers, the 3.5 thousand. I'm quaking. My little self is quaking. My little self is crazy right now. But thank you so much. If little me could see me now. But it's all thanks to you. Anyways, but yeah, I had to make videos, and a lot of them I never posted because they weren't good, they just didn't turn out well, and some I just said, well, this is garbage. So let's get into that, and some other special things we know. So one of them I made was called The Attack of the Giant Puppy. I never made it. I don't remember why. I think it was a problem with the audio, but it was basically my dog was sitting at the, she was sitting on my table. She was very, very small at the time, and she was just sitting there. And it's actually what had the first instance of the Bear Bakery, and kind of gave me that idea for the Bear Bakery. Anyways, the whole thing was like, there was Brody's parents were in it, and I thought it was funny. And Brody's parents were the one Dalmatian with the flower markings, and the terrier with the purple spots. And the terrier actually, canonically in the Sageverse, yeah, she had a stutter. And she had a slight stutter, and she was married to the other Dalmatian. I don't think I gave them names, but yeah, they were lesbians. I scrapped it because I never really clarified. I didn't feel it, but I don't think I felt it. Yeah. Another one I made was, but at least we got the Bear Bakery out of it, which was a really great video, and I do love me some cannibalism, so I thought it was pretty funny. I mean, cannibalism has always been like my favorite genre of horror. It's just horrible and like terrifying. So I'm like, perfect, put it all in there. Another one I made was called Turtleman, and it was pretty funny. I actually practiced some Spanish for it too. There's a scene where these two characters, they were talking. One of them goes, "Quiero algo mucho más reputante tiene el pan," and the other one goes, "Como qué? Hipopótamo?" And then this hippopotamus goes, "Ugh, well, I never," and walks away. And then the other one goes, "Ay, lo siento." And I thought it was funny. It's like, no, because like, you know how sometimes there's Little's Pet Shops like eating the steak, and then there's a cow in the background all sad. But anyways, the whole premise of Turtleman was a superhero whose power was going slow, and it was pretty funny. It was a turtle, and he just moved around real slow, and there are two ladies, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, it's Turtleman!" And then they fainted, and it's like, it's just this, slow, mean hero who's not very helpful. And the thing was, some robber stole a lady's purse, and at the end he goes, "You can have this back, this doesn't have anything in it." And everyone's like, the day is saved by Turtleman again. And at the end it's like, look at him go, son. He's just so incredible. And then he kicks over a baby because he's just a terrible hero. And that was funny, but I couldn't get the music right, so I just scrapped the whole idea. Like the music, my phone was updating, and none of the music I had was downloading, so I was just really annoyed, so I scrapped the whole thing. Honestly, it was really funny, and if you want to see it, I will totally post it. Another one was like, I never came up with a name, but it was this cat my friend made. So my friend made this custom of a cat. Here, let me grab it. Where is it? Here it is. When my friend and I were kids, she made these two, and yes, they were in that one short I made, and she's such a good artist, and she made this cat. It was the Cheshire Cat from Alice in Wonderland, but like the live action one, but it's so scary looking, you know? And this one is, cause like the sharp teeth, and this one is just a demon, cool. I think it's super cool. Very pastel goth. I think this was when she was in her pastel goth phase, and I thought it was so cool. But it wasn't about this turtle. We used to call this one Turdy until we, because it was just a blue turtle, until we painted it. Well, she painted it. Anyways, it was about this cat and this other character who's seen this cat, and every year, ever since she saw that cat, somebody's either died or gone crazy. And at the end, she basically says, well, it's my year and I haven't gone crazy, right? But she's actually gone crazy. And I don't know. I didn't like it. I couldn't bring myself to film the rest of it. It was a good premise. It was from Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. But yeah, I didn't like it. Another one, which I made a whole custom for, and I put it like, guess what this is, was Krampus. And, oh crap, there goes his tail. And this is a huge custom. I'm gonna move the camera a little bit, because it stands pretty tall. I can't really get it to stand. It's got a lot of clay. I took, I think, a cow, and I cut it in half. This is mostly Play-Doh. Yeah, this is Play-Doh. And it created a very long body for him. Is this glued? I don't remember. Oh, it's not. Anyways, I thought it was cool because there's bells, and so I used some nail polish to make the shiny bell effect. And then it's got dark black hooves, and it's a gray color with distressed kind of painting. And so I spent a lot of time making this. I was downstairs. He's got red eyes, but they aren't like super scary, but they are scary enough. And his horns, I was trying to figure out what I should do for the horns, so I decided to do these type horns. And these are also made out of clay, and I hot glued them on the little mounds that this one had. And then it's got a little tuft of hair, and I try to make it as regular looking as possible for Krampus. And I also molded a bit of a goat kind of lion mouth here, more of a snout. And I was gonna make this whole thing about Krampus. He also had a tail, but the tail just fell off, and it's been falling off. The tail was made out of clay, and I just never glued it correctly, I guess. But it was pretty thin. Anyways, I didn't really have an idea for what I wanted it to be. It was just kind of facts about Krampus. He also has a little sack. Let me find it. He also has this little sack I made, and with these bells, and it's all bloody. It's just filled with spare, I think, paper towels. But it was supposed to be the sack where he keeps the bad children and puts it along his back, so it kind of makes sense why he's so tall, and this would help him stand. But I just never really created something out of it. I couldn't figure it out. I think it was about a cat who, she was bad and she knew she was bad, and at the end she goes, but I know it's real because I hear hoof prints in the snow. But yeah, I didn't have enough time to do it, and then the flight that I was supposed to take to my grandma's got canceled, and I was just really down, so I didn't want to do it. And so it never worked. I never did it. But maybe this year. I don't really have a plot, but I do have Krampus. Another spooky video idea I had was this pumpkin song by Jack Stauber, and it was really creepy, and I made the whole thing, and then I lost the video. And so now I want to throw myself into a pool of garbage because I'm very angry, because that took me so long, and I was saving it for this year's September and spooky months, and now I can't find it, and I'm so mad. But anyways, it looked something like this. This is the redone version of the pumpkin, I think it's a fake LPS with a, originally it was going to be a full body custom, but now I'm just going to use the head. And yeah, so this is actually repainted for another thing I was going to do, but just never got around to doing. This is for I was going to make a mini series called Pumpkinhead, and it was based on the video game Pumpkinhead that takes place in the 1950s. It's an audio novel. Super, super good. Absolutely love it. But the game is super cool because it's very scientific and accurate to the rotting process of a human corpse and, well, a pumpkin. So go give it a play if you want to, if you have the stomach for it. It's super good. And another thing I was going to do was I was going to create season 2 of the LPS Summer Camp Oakwood. And I originally, for the first video, for those, I had no plot, no script. I had no idea what was going on. So the plot was everywhere. But this one I honestly had such a great idea for. So one of the characters who I actually realize now the model's a German Shepherd was going to the one who was like, oh, it's so nice to meet another corgi. She was going to be like, oh my gosh, I'm actually a German Shepherd. This changes everything. I never knew I was a German Shepherd. And which is like, in real life, it's like, how do you get those two mixed up? But it's like LPS logic, so important. And then there was going to be the husky character, and the cat character. There was gonna be, I think her name was London. She was going to, we were gonna see not only her mom, but also her dad, and the fact that, because I didn't have a dad character, I just didn't put it in there, but they were going to be divorced, and it was going to be like more in depth about her stepmom and bonding with people. And then for Blue, I didn't really have anything, but I thought about a love interest. I didn't really have a love interest for her yet, but I was thinking about it. It was probably going to be a dachshund, a short hair, or a collie maybe. A collie would have done really well, but I just didn't. I started filming it, and I just didn't know where I was going. It was good though, really good. What else was in that series? Yeah, it was gonna be a lot more put together. So that was that one. Another story I was gonna make was from Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. I think it was called Bess, and it was about this horse, and this farmer goes to a fortune teller, and the lady tells him, your horse, Bess, is going to kill you, and she's gonna be the death of you, and he's like, there's no way she's gonna kill me. So he goes home and he's like, okay, we're gonna sell Bess. Anyways, Bess ends up, he sells Bess, his horse, to the neighbor, and the neighbor gets a fun time out of her, gives her a very nice life, the kids love her, and then she dies peacefully later. And later he goes, well, now that she's dead, I don't have anything to worry about. And so he goes, can I go see her skull? And the farmer's like, take all the time you need. And so the farmer lets his farmer friend go see his old horse, and inside the skull was a rattlesnake that bites him, and that was like the ending. But I made a snake out of clay, but I never finished it, and I never finished the characters. I mean, the characters were finished, and I just never finished it. So yeah. And that's really, it was a tough one, especially in the Littlest Pet Shop universe, because there's like horses, cows. In The Walking Dead, I just used a Generation 3 cow, even though like Chet was a cow, and or what was his name? The guy in one of the first episodes was a cow, but I used a Season 3 cow to be the other cow. So yeah, very interesting stuff. And a very much cuter one that I made was called the cake competition, and it was just someone going around tasting cakes at the cake competition, and it was pretty funny. One of the cakes was like, oh, this tastes like dirt, and I'm like, it is made of dirt, it's organic and made of dirt. And so then he goes to the other one, he's like, you didn't make this cake. Something had to be wrong with every cake, and I don't remember what the ending was going to be like, but there's this really good cake, And he's like, wow, this looks delicious. But then a bird flying overhead poops on the cake, and it's like, oh, sorry, no one can eat your cake now. But I just never posted it. I don't think I remember editing it, but yeah, that's all I really got right now. But if you think I should definitely remake some of those scrapped ideas, if you need to see them, let me know in the comments. And yeah, I will see you when I see you. If some of the things you said just you never want to see again, also tell me, because I like to know your feedback. Anyways, once again, see you when I see you, and I hope you have a wonderful day.